गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रजनरञ्जना नन्दन व्रजनरञ्जना यमुनतीरावनचारी रावणचारी Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radhe Madhava, Radha Madhava, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Om Vishnupad, Brahms Parivrajagacharya, Ashtotar Sri Srimat Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Samasta Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki Nitai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki. Hare Krishna, I welcome all of you for today's Bhakti Vaibhava class. I'm late, sorry. So today's plan. So today we are going to discuss or finishing 6th chapter of 5th canto. So from 6th sloka onwards we should do. Yes? From 6th sloka onwards. So total 19 slokas are there. We will finish those as soon as possible, as quickly as possible, as quickly because we have to start 7th chapter, 5th canto, 7th chapter. At least today if we finish 5.7.6, so it is worthful really. 5.7.6 is the most important sloka and most important commentary is there, and also it is there in Bhakti Sandarbha, which we discussed 2-3 days back. So we discussed Jiva Goswami's commentary, so I will not repeat that. If anyone is interested, they can take that class, Bhakti Sandarbha class. A link will be provided for the requested people. Okay. And we are going to discuss Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commentary, which is going to reveal a new concepts and new insights of pure devotional service. And very, very important commentary, and it is amazing commentary actually. It needs at least 1.5 hours for that sloka. So now 1 o'clock, within 40 minutes we should finish 6th chapter and give the remaining time for reaching to the 6th sloka of 5th canto, 7th chapter, 5th canto, 7th chapter. Okay, so I try to remind all of you after 2 days holiday, you might have forgotten, but you didn't have holiday, but some people took forcefully holiday, forced holiday, volunteer holiday. Okay. So, but anyway, in yesterday's class, we were discussing controlling of the mind control. What are the contents of the 6th chapter, 5th canto, 6th chapter contents? Saranakanti, Prabhu. What are the contents? Summary of the 6th chapter. What is being discussed in this chapter?
So you told that in this chapter we will discuss how to control the mind. Then we discussed many things about mind and
what is the summary sloka? Based upon summary sloka, tell me what are the main contents?
That is, mind is the root cause of all. Mind is the root cause of lust, anger, pride, greed.
Vishwanath Chakravarti summary sloka. Every chapter he summarizes in one sloka. Based upon that sloka, tell me. Based upon that verse.
Verse number 2.
Huh? Are verse number ka? So beginning of the chapter. Who will tell? Nobody noting also. Okay, yes, please. You are not noting. Okay.
So Rishabh he has teaching by his personal example. So that just first thing, how just like siddhis, other things, perfection, one should not be affected by these things. This is also one kind of anartha. This is comes obstacle, but it will also discuss almost when person crosses ruchi, stage reach anartha nivritti, almost anartha nivritti, then these are comes. Then after that, this also goes away. And this chapter, starting chapter, telling how mind is like one should not put control, put faith in the mind, just like because
based upon Vishwanath Chakravarti's summary sloka, tell me. Huh? Sarvamangala Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, we will see that how to control the mind. Then we will see the disappearance of Rishabh Deva and how the followers of Rishabh Deva, they will become passion dev.
Yes.
And we should not follow them. That we will see in this chapter.
3 things. One is the weakness of the mind. Manasascha ati dauratmyam. Next, harehe dehantaradhapanam. That means disappearance of the Rishabhadeva's body. Next, pashandotpattir. Pashandotpatti. That means by, what is that his king name? Arhat. So I'm forgetting his name all the time. Arhat, he brought up the new false religion. That also you'll see. False religion. How to bring up false religion. Okay. So now we are in the first point actually. Mind is so dangerous. You cannot trust. In general, in the process of Ashtanga Yoga or otherwise in the process of the Bhakti, so after cleaning the some good extent of the impurities of the heart, so then what will happen? Once the impurities are purified from the heart, then you start getting the siddhis, anima, lagima, and so on. So like 18 prakar ke ashta siddhis, and also total 18 actually. You can see in the 11th canto total 18 siddhis were discussed. In that 8 are primary. So primary siddhis. So you'll be getting all these siddhis. So if anyone is not cautious about his mind, if he thinks that now I purified my heart and I controlled my mind, if he get that kind of, that means impression, and if he gives the full, that means freedom to the mind, then it may take once again back to the desires. It will pull you in, it will put you in a ditch. गड्ढे में गिरा देगी वो. So that's why one should not, any intelligent person should not trust his mind. What Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur Goswami is doing every day, morning time, how many times you should beat? 100 times? No. 100 times. 100 times with juta, with the shoe. And evening, night time while sleeping, 100 times broomstick. You should do this. controlling mind comes under the Shuddha Bhakti or not? Controlling mind is a component of Shuddha Bhakti or not? No. Wow. Then it is what? It's a component of Ashtanga Yoga. It's Anga of the Ashtanga Yoga. Okay. That means devotees, they don't control their mind. Devotees, they control the mind or not? Devotee's mind is controlled? Recently we discussed in the case of Mike, take mic.
Because they are all senses are used all time for devotional service. So when his all kind of senses are engaging in service, must be mind also in the side product of serving to the Lord.
Yes.
In this way, he also control his mind also, but it is not main for that he control his mind directly.
Okay, recently where we in this our class only discussed, controlling mind. None here 2 days back, where we discussed karma vasham actually, yeah. In this only, yeah, karma vasham, manah karma vasham. There, mind is full of under the control of the There in that connection we discussed. This is three options. That means no. It is discussed in the first chapter actually. In this same. So 3 types of things are possible actually to the Brahmaji's teachings to the Priyavrata. There we discussed. So controlled mind, uncontrolled, and so a desire to control. So these 3 are there. So in the case of devotees, mind is what kind of situation? Out of these 3, it's not the uncontrolled mind, it is controlled, or it is desire to control, but it is controlled and also simultaneously uncontrolled. Devotee's mind is simultaneously controlled and uncontrolled. This is the situation of the devotees, because devotees means not our case. In the Karma Mishra Bhaktas we are not saying, but Ananya Bhaktas, at least who are in the case of Ruchi, above Ruchi and Asakti, their case. So because their mind is uncontrolled, because their Asakti stage, in the case of Asakti, their mind always run behind the pastimes of the Lord. That's why even the day-to-day activities they are not able to do. They cannot do the normal activities. If they want to cook the rice, and they will put, that means that rice, and without putting water, and they will forget, because their mind is uncontrolled, and they are maybe just dwelling their mind on something on the pastimes of the Lord, and they will forget. They will without the lighting on the stove, and they are just keeping and thinking that maybe rice is cooked. This will happen actually. Their mind is fully uncontrolled, and also it is controlled. That means they are not at all, that means having any kind of the material attraction. So that's why in that way, in the case of material, that means devotee's mind is uncontrolled, controlled. It will never go on the sense objects. So, and that's why here, whatever we are for the, but if of course controlling the mind is not the part of the pure devotion, but then if it is not the anga of the pure devotion, that means, do you see, that means controlling of the mind in the 64 items of the sadhana bhakti, pure sadhana bhakti, which is given by the Rupa Goswami, in that, do you see controlling of the mind? Controlling of mind is not there. So then we need to practice controlling of the mind or not? But yeah, in the case of Ananya Bhaktas, it is no need, but the one who doesn't in that level, so at the entry level of the Ananya Bhakti, so one should at least use this knowledge. Some portion of the Jnana is used, even Bhakti Rasamrita Sundari it is written. So some portion of the Jnana is used. So in the beginning of the Ananya Bhakti, so it can be used as an entry door. So like analytical study of the body and this mind, chit and achit, this we do. it may be useful actually, but bhakti is fully independent. So if you keep on doing the pure sadhana bhakti, then automatically what? Bhakti itself will control the mind. But still here, so but if you see that the Vrishabhadev's teachings and his behavior is more inclined towards what? It's a, did he teach only the bhakti here in his teachings? No. He taught what? Vairagyam, Gnanam and Bhakti. So of course he concluded of his, the conclusion of his teachings is Bhakti only. That he established. But while teaching to his sons, he taught all three components. Vairagyam also he taught the Gnana and also he taught so Bhakti. So that's why you should know what is pure devotional service and what is the Gnana and what is Vairagyam. And also what is the, if you mix these two, that means Gnanam and Bhakti, then it is the Gnana Mishra Bhakti. That also you should know. So already we have discussed that 15 items he taught for the Bhakti and 10 items for the Gnana. So sadhanas, why he taught these 15 and 10 sadhanas? How to? Yeah, destroy the, how to destroy the linga deham. That means it's a connection. That is, ahankara is the cause for the connection. So soul is connected to the subtle and gross bodies through the ahankara, and to cut that, so we have been, that means we learn actually from Vrishabhadev's teachings is 25 techniques. So now Sukadeva Goswami is teaching us from the, based upon the question asked by the Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj asking, so he was, that means Vrishabhadev, when he controlled his senses and everything, of course he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, so there is no need of control anything. So but still you can see he was surrounded by this so many Ashta Siddhis, but still he is not affected by those. Why? This was the question asked by the Parikshit. How it is possible? Because the expert sadhaka never trusts his mind. So Ananya Bhakta's case, definitely there is no need of considering this kind of points, because Ananya Bhaktas means they have full surrenderance to the Lord and they are always engaged in the service of the Lord. But whoever is not in that kind of situation, so they has to be careful about their mind. So how this mind is functioning. In the case of the Jnanis, how they control their mind. In the case of Jnanis also, mind control is important. So you all know this. In the 11th canto we discussed. So it's like a controlling mind is like a controlling horse. If you bring a brand new horse which is not trained, how it will behave? So just if you try to, if you put a hand, immediately it will rise like anything. And so if you just sit on it, then it will be taking you like anything, and it will not be in your control actually. And very powerful actually. Uncontrolled horse is very difficult to handle. Similarly, mind is like a untrained horse. So how an untrained horse is trained by an expert, that horse rider, how he ride. So how he will do? Whenever, that means he sit on a new horse. So first of all, what? He will not, if you first immediately if you try to control, it will just, it will make like anything. That means it will just jump like anything, and it will definitely make you to fall down. So then first what you have to do? You have to release the reins. You should release the reins a little bit, and you should see. You don't know, all of you don't know how to ride a horse. Okay, anyway, then it's good. I can teach you whatever I know. Otherwise, then you know. Okay, then I can teach. So then what will happen? So you have to release the horse reins, so that you should understand first the way how it is running, the prakriti, that means the nature of the horse you should understand. Then slowly, so you try to handle that. That means sometimes you are releasing and handling, releasing and making tight, releasing and tightening. So tightening like this, you have to gradually learn it. Gradually, get the grip on that. Immediately, if you try to control, it will jump like anything. It will smash you. It will make you to fall down. So similarly, when you try to control the mind, it will become the shift of the mind will become double. Now you want to, yes, I don't want to see this, I don't want to see this, I don't want to see this, and you are trying to control, then the force from the mind will also increase. So like if you see, when you try to, that means, so pull some elastic rubber, so then what will happen if you try to pull, then the energy will increase or not in that, because of displacement. Energy will increase, and if you release, it will hit like anything. That means energy is doubled. The same way, like elastic rubber, if you pull, the energy is increased in that. So similarly, when you try to control the mind also energy becomes double, and it will go even more quickly into the wrong direction. Double speed, with the double energy, it will function. So that's why what you have to do, you have to slowly control it, very slowly. Slowly, you should understand the nature. So in what place and what time and what circumstances my mind is getting attraction. Oh, that means morning time. Oh, acha, if I am alone and if I am doing this, then my mind is going. So let me change my situation, my circumstances, and like that. So you should understand the style, the way the mind is moving, the gati, the path, the gati of the mind, you should understand properly. Then slowly you should control. It's not for the devotees, it is for the jnanis, explained by the Krishna to the Dhruva, Uddhava. So that's why you may not understand that here, oh, pure devotion, why he is teaching, but just the point is mentioned here. Anyway, this we are seeing in this chapter, the controlling of the mind. So
Ananda Bhakta.
Yeah.
So some degree, up to some degree, lesser more, it also applies to us also, no?
Yeah. Because since we are not in Ananya Bhakti, since we are in the Jnana Mishra Bhakti, so in that case, what will happen? So yes, most of the times, that means you see in our diagram, without our diagram, how our class will go. So this is the entry door for the Ananya Bhakti. So this is the entry door. This is a Shraddha, 100% Shraddha, full Shraddha. When you get full Shraddha means full surrenderance. Then you are in the path of pure devotion. So before that, you might be doing the karma arpanam, and also doing the some gnana. That means then it is plus karma arpanam plus gnana plus bhakti. It will become what? Karma gnana mishra bhakti. So that means some part of gnana also you might be practicing slowly, because at that time you are using the gnana as a supporting element to the bhakti. Also karma as supporting element to the bhakti, and that's why it is known as karma gnana mishra bhakti. This you might be doing. So that's why initially it can be used, but once if you enter into the full faith, if you get full faith on the bhakti, then in that case you don't see any dependency of the bhakti on other angas. If you make other angas also, then gnana karmadi avrutam it will become. Ananya Bhakti means what? Gnana karmadi anavrutam, but it will become gnana karma avrutam. अभी दौड़ाना है, लेट हो रहा है. 6th verse. अतेवम अखिल लोकपाल ललामो. It's over, na? 6th over, na? Yes. Next 7th. तस्याह वा एव मुक्तलिंगस्य भगवत ऋषभस्य योगमाया वासनया देह इमां जगतीम अभिप्समाना भासेन संक्रमणमः कोंक वेंक वेंक कुटकांध दक्षिण कर्नाटका कान देशान यदृच्छयोपगतः कुटका च लोपवन आस्यकृताश्म कवल उन्माद इव मुक्त मूर्धजो संवीत एव विचचारा. Translation. भावग्राही प्रभु.
Hare Krishna Guru Siddharth. Actually, Lord Rishabdeva had no material body, but due to Yogamaya, he considered his body material, and therefore, because he played like an ordinary man, human being, he gave up the mentality of identifying with it. Following this principle, he began to wander all over the world. While traveling, he came to the province of Karnataka in South India and passed through Konka, Venka, and Kutaka. He had no plan to travel this way, but he arrived near Kutakachala and entered a forest there. He placed stones within his mouth and began to wander through the forest, naked and with his hair disheveled like a madman.
Okay. So what are the different places he roamed, he traveled? That is mentioned here. And one more point, Rishabhadev's body is material body or the spiritual body? It is spiritual body. So then what happened to that? Finally, Rishabhadev, he was traveling to the different places in the South India. Then what happened finally to him? So his body is spiritual. Then what happened to that spiritual body? So we discussed in this chapter, we are going to discuss the disappearance of the Rishabhadev. So how he disappeared, what happened? That is being discussed now in the next sloka, next verse. He gave up the mentality of identifying with it. Therefore, because of played like an ordinary human being. Tasya hava evam muktalingasya. Muktalingasya means he gave up the mentality of the body. One second. So like sometimes Jivan Muktas, so even they are completely free from the karma, but the impressions of the karma will be there. Impressions of the karma, how to understand? So if you wake up from the dream, so after waking up from dream, so you'll be still remembering the things what you have seen in the dream. Like you have seen tiger, you have seen some other things. So, but those are not going to give any fear to you after waking up, but still they are with you. This is the thing happens in the case of Jivan Mukta also. Jivan Mukta and Baddha Jiva. What is the difference? Baddha Jiva is person like a dreaming person. So person in the dream. That means person in the dream, he is seeing the things which are not real, like tiger in the forest he might be seeing, and he is getting fear. And while sleeping also you can see some kind of sweat is coming because of fear. So but the jiva is also, because he is identifying himself with the body because of the false ego, and he is getting the fear by entering into the dualities. Now when person woke up from the dream, then after that he is remembering, oh, in my dream I saw a tiger. Then when he was remembering back, so will he get any fear? He will never get any fear, but still the impressions are there. The same way, so person who already liberated from the body, that means who cut down his ahankara with the sword of the knowledge. So we are discussing this. That means Gnani's case. So then once the ahankara is cut down, then what will happen? So they are free from the material body. They are jivan muktas, but still the impressions will be there. Like so after waking up from the dream, you are having the impressions. So Gnanis, not Gnani Bhakta, Gnanis. Yeah. Devotees case also, they are also liberated actually. They will be liberated when their anarthas are completely free. You can compare with them also like that. So here, yeah, like you see, if you take a pot and it is already prepared nicely, and still it is on the wheel, it is still rotating, it doesn't mean that the pot is not prepared. So similarly, so person is completely relieved from the dream, relieved from the bondage, but still the impressions are carried forward. So that is the point is explained here in this Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. So, but still Rishabhadev, so still he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was following the activities like Avadutas activities. Now next sloka is important sloka. So let us enter into this. Ata Samira Vega Vidhuta Venu Vikarshana Jatogra Davanalastad Vanam Alolili Aleli Hanaha Saha Tena Dadaha. Translation: while he was wandering about, a wild forest fire began. This fire was caused by the friction of bamboos, which were being blown by the wind. In that fire, the entire forest near Kotakachala and the body of Lord Rishabhadev were burned to ashes. So, Rishabhadev's body is burnt out. That means what? Rishabhadev's body is material body or not? Huh? It's not material body. It's a spiritual body. Then how it is burnt out? Hmm? How to understand this then? People will show you. Rashvadev is also not supreme. Supreme Lord is also having material body only. It is burnt out. Is it true? We'll study. We'll read the Jiva Goswami's commentary on this. Jiva Goswami is analyzing this. Same thing is said by the Vishwanath also. So that's why we'll discuss Jiva Goswami's commentary. I need your active participation in this sloka. So tell me, what is the verb in this? In this verse, what is the verb? Huh? Dadaha. Very good. Dadaha is the verb. What is the meaning of dadaha? Huh? Bound to ashes. Dadaha is in Uch Purusha Uch. In which person it is? Dadaha is a first person, second person, or third person? Dadaha. Scholar? Huh? Pradam Purusha or Madhyama or the Uttam Purusha? Pradam Purusha Ekvachan, Dadaha. Okay. That means what in English, if you translate Dadaha, what is the meaning? What is the meaning of Dadaha? What is the meaning of Dadaha? Dadaha means it's a little akara, okay? Burnt. It's a past tense, na? Little akara. So I burned, he burned, you burned. What you should take here? Huh? He. So yes, you should take here. He burned. He burned. Like he went, like that, he burned. So he who, here he means who? It is referring to whom? Huh? Rishabhadev. Rishabhadev burned. Rishabhadev burnt what? What is the object for this? For the verb burned, what is the object? Huh? What is that? Tena. No. So he means what you should take? He burned. Rishabhadev you should take, or the fire you should take? Forest fire. What you should take? So, like example, Rama went forest along with Sita. So, or otherwise Rama along with Sita, you can write here. Along with Sita went to forest. So in this, what is the main verb? Main verb is what? Went. So what is the main subject? Rama. Rama is the main subject. And that means went, this action is done by whom? Rama. So, and that means Sita also went or not? But then Sita will become what? Secondary subject. Secondary subject. That means Ramah Sitaya Saha Vanam So here Rama is the main main verb, sorry, main subject, karta, main karta, and Sita is a gauna, secondary. For agachat is the verb. So here, what is happening? Tena saha. Here, davanalaha means fire. So dadaha. He means what you should take? You should take davanalaha. Fire you should take. That means fire burnt forest. So fire along with, you should write like this: fire along with Rishabhadev burnt forest. This is the meaning actually. Fire along with Rishabhadev, yeah, burnt the huh? अच्छा छोटू का दिमाग बहुत चल रही है. What is the meaning you are getting? So here you see in this sloka, what is there? Davanalaha is there or not? Davanalaha is the main verb. Davanalaha dadaha. Okay. Davanal dadaha. Tena saha. Kena saha? Rushabhena saha. Davanalaha rushabhena saha vanam dadaha. Okay. Davanalaha rushabhena saha vanam dadaha. That means forest fire along with Rishabhadev burned forest. Means what is the meaning? What it means? It means forest fire burned the gross bodies of all the creatures in this forest, and Rishabhadev burned all the subtle bodies. It's not that the Rishabhadev burned. Rishabhadev is burned or Rishabhadev was burned. No. Rishabhadev burned. Rishabhadev was not burned. Rishabhadev is not object. Rishabhadev is secondary subject. Okay. So Rishabhadevah tu Sukshmadeham iti tasya sarvamoksha tvad anusandheyam. So what you should understand? So now the meaning is Rishabhadev burned, because in that forest, through the fire, he is touching all the living entities, because fire is touching him like a current shock. If you current shock, that means if you take the one terminal, then so whoever is touching you, all also will get the shock or not. Similarly, through fire, so Rishabhadev is connected to all the creatures. So while the death, at the time of death, so if someone is connecting with the Lord, then they will be liberated. That is the principle actually. That means connecting means if they are seeing, they are touching, or in the hands they are leaving their body, or in the presence of the Lord they are living, then all they will be delivered. So that's why here, what understanding you should take? Dadaha means, so generally people take that people, they take in this way, another way. That means davanalaha means fire. So Rishabhena saha vanam dadaha. That means, so the fire burned the forest along with the Rishabhadev, means Rishabhadev is also burned. You can take this anvaya also. But this is not working here. Because here tena saha iti kartru sahaye tritiya. We are taking here. So then if you want to take this, that means this Vrishabhena saha. So if you want to take with vanam, here it should be tritiya. So vanena. So here sorry, this is tritiya. So then if you do anvaya of like this, then what will happen? The problem is Vrishabhadev is also burned by the Davanal. But this we should not take. But I am taking like this. Davanal Vrishabhena saha means Ramena, that means Ramena saha Krishnaha Vanam Gacchati. Like that you can take. Like that means you bring this. You bring this to here. Vrishabhena saha bring here. That means Vrishabhena saha along with Vrishabha fire. That means Davanala means forest fire. So burnt vanam. I will not take this with vanam. I will take this with the karta instead of taking with the karma. Then meaning is changing. Huh?
When you are using along with, so it goes on that that with forest, Rishabh also is being burned with the forest, because along with, if we use fire and Rishabh, then it is they are burning the forest. But we used here fire along with Rishabh, burn forest. So along with it goes on with the forest, no?
So in English also, like this you should take fire along with, or otherwise you bring this along with Rishabhadev, fire burned the forest. You take this. So along with Rishabhadev, fire burned the forest. That is the we want. But fire along with Rishabhadev, so fire burned forest along with Rishabhadev. You can take like this also. This along with Rishabhadev, you can take even in English also with the subject or otherwise with the object. So along with Rishabhadev, like this you should understand. Two possibilities are there. Along with Rishabhadev, fire burned forest. This is one option. Second is, so fire burned forest along with Rishabhadev. So people are taking like this. This is wrong. This we are not taking, and this we are taking. In Sanskrit, how it will be? This. That means tena saha. That means along with Rishabhadev means tena. Tena saha davanalaha vanam dadaha. This anvaya you should take in the Sanskrit. If you take like this, then anvaya how? So that means davanalaha. So vanam Vrishabhena saha dadaha. This is also possible, but this you cannot take. You'll take this. Then one problem is coming. So Rishabhadev is also becoming karta for the action burning. Then Rishabhadev, what he burned? Then what we are saying, Rishabhadev burned the subtle body, and fire burned the gross body. So like this you should interpret. Now write the question on this. write the text, write the verse, write the verse 5.6.8 and give the right and wrong interpretations of interpretation of that. Three marks. Right and wrong interpretations. Next, yasya kilanucharitam upakarnya konka venka is over. Konka venka kutakanam raja arhat namopasiksya kalau adharma utkrishyamane bhavitavyena vimohitaha swadharma patam akruto bhayam apahaya kupata pakhandam asamanjasam nijamanishaya mandaha sram pravartayishyate. Vipin Purandar Prabhu, please switch on your cameras. सबको कैमरा ऑन करने के लिए बोलिए, सबको एब्सेंट डालिए, वीडियो जिसको जिसका होगा. Okay, Vipin Purandar Prabhu, are you there? You are not. Yashoda Kirti Mataji, please read the text. Translation.
Prabhuji, I'm having Hindi book today, please.
Why?
Can I?
Why?
Okay, please give me few minutes. Next look, I'll read, Prabhuji.
Okay. Jay Gopinath Prabhu, please read the translation.
To the verse number 2.
Acha. Tell me what discussed in the previous minutes back.
Like Rishabhadev, along with the forest, the fire burnt him. That one can be taken, but we don't take that. But we take along with the Rishabhadev, fire burnt forest. So that form we take. So that's the last I heard.
That means Rishabhadev burned forest means what it means?
No, along with the Rishabhadev, fire burnt forest means Rishabhadev and fire burnt all the living entities in the forest, which you said in the first. That the fire burned the gross body and the Rishabhadev burned the subtle body.
Okay. Acha, you are hearing, but okay, text number 9.
Sukadeva Goswami continued speaking to Maharaja Parikshit, my dear king, the king of Konka, Venka and Kutaka, whose name was Arhat, heard of the activities of Rishabhadeva and imitating Rishabhadeva's principles, introduced a new system of religion. Taking advantage of Kali Yuga, the age of sinful activity, King Arhat, being bewildered, gave up the Vedic principles, which are free from risk, and concocted a new system of religion opposed to the Vedas. That was the beginning of the Jain Dharma. Many other so-called religions followed this atheistic system.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, false religion. Jain Dharma is a false religion. Okay? Because in Kali Yuga, following Rishabhadev is rejected actually. And they try to follow the Rishabhadev. They want to externally try to follow the Rishabhadev. In Kali Yuga, what is recommended? One should hear the pastimes of Rishabhadev. One should not at all follow the Rishabhadev. But it can be done for the remaining 3 yugas. But for the Kali Yuga, no following, only hearing about Rishabhadeva. That's enough. So, but in this Arhat, so started a false religion, Pashanda. So, Pakhandam, Asamanjasam, Nijamanisha. That means Nijamanisha means his own intelligence. He used his own intelligence to derive this religion. Just he took some few external features and he derived. Arhat, his name is Arhat. When Lord Sri Krishna was present on this planet, a person named Poundrak imitated the four-handed Narayana and declared himself the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He desired to compete with Krishna. Similarly, during the time of Rishabhadev, the king of Konka and Venka acted like a Paramahamsas and imitated Lord Rishabhadev. Svesve adhikare. If you are not having the adhikara and if you try to follow that, then that is cheating. Like example, you are not a doctor. You don't have any adhikara to give the treatment. And you are wearing the white coat and stethoscope and started treating the people. Means this is what? It is a cheating. So Svesve adhikare. So Krishna is giving in his Uddhava Gita. If you don't have any adhikara and if you, for example, you are not in the Ananya Bhakti, but if you try to act like Ananya Bhakta, then it is cheating, vanchakaha. You are not having the full surrender to the Lord. But when there is but then you are now, if you are not in Ananya Bhakti, means you should do your prescribed karma, and you are not following your prescribed karma, and you are simply saying that Ananya Bhakta. But you are not full. Ananya Bhakta means what? The one who is engaged in 24 hours in the direct devotion. 24 hours in direct devotion, whoever is engaged, he is called as Ananya Bhakta for the pleasure of the Lord. With the favorable mood for the pleasure of the Lord, if one is engaged in the direct devotion, and he is known as Ananya Bhakta. And you are not in that platform, you are not like that, but only just externally saying that Ananya Bhakta, then is a vanchakaha, is a cheater. So here Rishabhadev is really Avadhut and transcendental personality, and these kings, they are not in that Paramahamsa level, but externally, so they started following, and then false religion made up. Prabhupada is saying he desired to compete with Krishna. Similarly, during the time of Lord Rishabhadev, the king of Konka and Venka acted like a Paramahamsa and imitated Lord Rishabhadev. He introduced a system of religion and took advantage of the fallen condition of the people in this age of Kali. It is said in Vedic literature that people in this age will be more inclined to accept anyone as the Supreme Lord and accept any religious system opposed to the Vedic principles. So Kali Yuga is Kalir Doshanidhi. That means Kali is full with so many defects. So any false religion can be easily propagated in the Kali Yuga, because they are not so intelligent enough to understand the right and wrong. So Supreme Lord and accept any religious system opposed to Vedic. The people in this age are described as Mandaha Sumandamatayo Mandabhagya Kipadrataha. Generally, they have no spiritual culture and therefore they are very fallen. Due to this, they will accept any religious system due to this, their misfortune. They forget the Vedic principles. Following non-Vedic principles in this age, they think themselves the Supreme Lord and Thus spread that cult of atheism all over the world. So then what is the solution for this false religion? So how one can be saved from the false religion, from this pakhandi? By the preaching. Enahavaava kalau manuja sada deva maya mohitaha swavidhi niyoga shaucha charitra vihina deva helananyap anyapa vratani nija nijechaya grihnana asnana cha mana saucha keshal lunchanadini kali ina adharma bahulena leno upahata dhiyaha brahmana yajna purusha loka vidushakaha prayena bhavishyanti. What else that means about this false religion? Especially, of course, it is started in the very long back. Now it will become prominent in the Kali Yuga. This Jainism will become more prominent in the Kali Yuga. But Rishabhadev is in Kali Yuga? No, no. So, but the seeds are there in the previous, but it will become prominent in Kali Yuga. So now translation. Ravindra Chaitanya Prabhu. 10th verse. Hare Krishna.
People who are lowest among men and bewildered by the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord will give up the original Varnashram Dharma and its rules and regulations. They will abandon bathing 3 times daily and worshipping the Lord, abandoning cleanliness and neglecting the Supreme Lord. They will accept nonsensical principles, not regularly bathing or washing their mouths regularly. They will always remain unclean and they will pluck out their hair. Following a concocted religion, they will flourish. During this age of Kali, people are more inclined to irreligious systems. Consequently, these people will naturally deride Vedic authority. The followers of Vedic authority, the Brahmanas, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the devotees.
Yeah, thank you, bro. So, few examples are given. So, how these false religious people practice their religion? They will be, they do same actually. So Jains, they pluck out all the hair with without any, that means machine they don't use. Plucking completely whole body, even eyebrows, everything, no hair, completely plucking out. Everything, only plucking. Woman also. And takes a lot of time, one hair they should pluck out. So many painful and so much time it will take. And whole body, blood also will come. And this is the religion. So it's said here, you see, plucking out the hair. And also no clothes. They don't wear any clothes. Mataji's also they don't wear. They wear, na? Okay. A different type of oil. Achha. Inside only. A white dress, complete white dress. Yeah. So no cleanliness, they don't wash teeth, no brushing, nothing. Actually, there is one sadhu actually nowadays, Jain, some rich person Jain, so he was traveling on the roads also. What is his name? You know? No. So I saw in Vrindavan also, I saw recently. So he complete naked. And he's having a big following, that big, that means group of, that means big yatra was following him. Morpang, yeah, Morpang to hide. Just sometimes they hide whenever they want. Morpang. So what is the main point? They don't want to follow any Vedic rules and regulations, Varnashrama Dharma. If anyone is not following Varnashrama Dharma, so he is not a human being. Human society means Varnashrama Dharma. This. karmis, not regularly bathing or washing their mouths, they will always remain unclean and they will pluck out their hair. Following concocted religion, they will flourish. But it is a very prominent religion, one of the prominent religion in India also. Consequently, these people will naturally derive Vedic authority. They don't believe in any Vedas. Prabhupada is writing in purport very nice points. The similar, that means offshoots of this Jainism you can see as hippies in the West. They don't bathe, but they always, but only one thing, they drink a lot of liquor and they will LCDs and this LSDs, and they fully, that means intoxicated, and no bathing, no cleaning, and stool also they pass, like Rishabhadev is passing stool same place and urine. Similarly, these people also in the same, in that pant only, or sometimes they remove that also because it is uneasy, and opened everything and passing stool, and also same, because fully intoxicated, they don't have any control on their body. Prabhupada, when he went, at that time, hippies were like this one, fully in this position. What is that? They are like Jivan Muktas, completely liberated. Only thing is they want, so they are like a mad. Jivan Mukta is also like a mad, so they are also mad, but they will be Jivan Mukta when they have fully having the LSD. So when Nasha is there, then Jivan Mukta. Otherwise, no. Presently, the hippies in the Western countries fit this description. They are irresponsible and unregulated. They don't bathe and they deride standard Vedic knowledge. They concoct new lifestyles and religions. There are many hippies groups at the present moment, but they all originated from King Arhat, because the idea is taken from here only, and everyone started some little bit modification and make new formula and propagate. Like after a few days, maybe, I cannot guess, but you can expect actually in our ISKCON also. So they will take few features of our ISKCON, and so now 4 regulative principles are there. No need to follow 4. You follow only 3. No illicit sex. So you can have illicit sex, but at least 3 you follow, and do the 4 rounds and worship the Lord as you like. That means this will and after that few days, so why you have to follow? Then some other hero will come and he will say that Acharya, so-called Pakhandi Acharya. Then you need to follow only 2 regulative principles under me, and only 1 round chanting. Yeah, and you will go back to Godhead. And after that, someone will come and he will smash out all the regulative principles. Even in the Bengal, sometimes you can see they will wearing tulsi mala and also eating the smoking, and also eating the fish, eggs, fish, meat, everything. This they already cheating, false religion. And also wearing the tilak and mach kabhe, mach lagbe. Yeah, coffee, tea, everything. And sometimes, so properly, sometimes to make the more disciples to Guru Maharaj, people, village, complete village, they are so recommending to have a Diksha, and after that, no 4 regulative principles, no following that means any 16 rounds, nothing. Even in our society also, this keep on increasing. And nobody is taking care. And just Diksha is given for him. And after that, even I know actually so many, so I cannot mention the exact name, Guru's name and the other's name, but I know actually so many, and no regulative principles. He became now normal in the society, wearing pant shirt and eating the lasun piyaj, everything, everywhere. And also is initiated by ISKCON Gurus. This is Kali Yuga means cheating religions. So they concoct new lifestyles and religions. King Arhat didn't care for the fact that although Rishabhadev acted like a madman, his stool and urine were nonetheless aromatic, so much so that they nicely scented the entire countryside for miles around. 80 miles will be having the scented aroma. And if these hippies, at least 10 meters, nobody can go near to them. The followers of the king Arhat went under the name Jains, and they were later followed by many others, particularly by the hippies. So, who are more or less offshoots of Mayavada philosophy. Philosophy is like Mayavadis, and external features are like Jains. This is hippies. Prabhupada is concluding. Such people don't respect the real followers of Vedic principles, the ideal Brahmanas, nor do they have respect for the system, supreme personality of Godhead. Okay, next. Techa Harvaktanaya Nijaloka Yatrayandha Paramparaya Swastas Tamasyandhe Swayameva Prapatishyanti. Yashoda Kirti Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Reading Prabhuji. Low class people, due to their gross ignorance, introduce a system of religion that deviates from the Vedic principles, following their own mental concoctions. They automatically fall down into the darkest regions of existence.
Yeah. Define hippies. 2 marks question. I want this question also from purports. Hippies. Externally, they are following the features of Jains, and philosophy is Mayavada. This is known as hippies. Hippism. Two. So next, low class people, due to their gross ignorance, introduce a system of religion that deviates from Vedic principles. Following their own mental concoctions, they automatically fall down into darkest religion of existence. So this kind of people will go to the hell. Next, Ayam avataro rajasopapluta kaivalyopasikshanaartaha. Translation: in this age of Kali, people are overwhelmed by the modes of passion and ignorance. Lord Rishabhadev incarnated himself to deliver them from the clutches of Maya. Actually, here, in this age of Kali means, you may get the meaning that Rishabhadev appeared in this age. But you should take another meaning actually here. In the translation, in this age of Kali, people were overwhelmed by the modes of passion and ignorance. Lord Rishabhadev incarnated himself to deliver them from the clutches of Maya. What it means actually? People in the Kali Yuga, they are fully, that means they are influenced by Rajas and Tamas. But how Rishabhadev's incarnation is having connection with this? Because in the Kali Yuga, if you hear the past tense of the Rishabhadev, then one will be delivered from the Rajas and Tamas. That's the meaning actually should take. But in the other yugas, they can follow the Rishabhadev. But in this yuga, just they should not follow, but they should only hear the past tense of the Rishabhadev. So Kali Yuga means false religion. This is the symptoms of Kali Yuga are predicted in the 12th canto, 3rd chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Lavanyam Keshadharanam. It is predicted how fallen souls will behave. They will keep their hair long and consider themselves very beautiful. Or they will will pluck out their hair as the giants do. They will keep themselves unclean and will not wash their mouths. Even some people actually in the colleges nowadays, they don't bathe for the 1 month. Huh? 1 month, even in Bangalore city and in Hyderabad. So generally every day, even they don't clean the clothes also. 4 or 5 days they will wear same thing. If you go close to them, and such a order, bad order actually, because of the so from their body actually, they may use sprays, but मूर्छित हो जाएंगे. gas will come from that. And also, if you see people who are eating lasun, that means the onion and garlic, and their sweat will be giving this some bad odor actually. And if you go close to that, it's like LPG gas. Smell will come like LPG gas. They're fully unclean because of eating these non-veg fast foods. Inside is unclean and outside is also unclean. And that's the sweat is even so much unclean. And teeth, they don't wash the teeth also properly. And clothes, they don't wash. And just they wear, and outside they will just put the Fair and Lovely on the face and cream or this, and was only change the dress, and that's old dress only, it's not clean, and that's a torn jeans, dirty torn jeans, which is as much as it is unclean and dirty, that will be more fashion actually, and more stylish. It's a fashion, stylish. So that's why they made, so that kind of psychology they made in the society, so that there is no need to, nobody is asking, then they will appreciate everyone. Unclean torn jeans are more shaded. Shaded means what? It can be the unclean, it's shaded because of the dirtiness also sometimes. And also long hair, long hair they will keep. So this kind of things you can see in the Kali Yuga actually. If such people are serious followers of Rishabdeva, actually Prabhupada is saying, if they are serious followers of Rishabdeva, they must also take his instructions as explained in 5th chapter. Rishabdev gave his 100 sons instructions whereby they could become free from the clutches of Maya. If one actually follows Rishabdeva, he will certainly be delivered from the clutches of Maya and return home back to Godhead. If one strictly follows the instructions of Rishabdeva given in the 5th chapter, he will certainly be liberated. Next. Tasyanugunan slokan gayanti aho bhuva sapta samudra dipeshu varsheshadi punyametat gayanti yatratya janamurare karmani bhadranyavataраvanti. Radha Govardhan Prabhu.
Text 13, Prabhuji. Learned scholars chant about the transcendental qualities of Lord Rishabdev in this way. Oh, this earthly planet contains 7 seas and many islands and lands, of which Bharatvarsh is considered the most pious. People of Bharatvarsh are accustomed to glorifying the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his incarnations as Lord Rishabdev and others. All these activities are very auspicious for the welfare of humanity.
Okay. So, Sukadeva Goswami, what he is saying? Rishabdev's, this 1 second. अच्छा सॉरी, ये 7th chapter 6th chapter में देते हैं. In 13th chapter, वर्षेषु मध्ये तद भारतम वर्षम अधिपुण्यम अधिक पुण्य प्रथम कुतः गायन्ति इत्यादि. So in this verse we are seeing Bharata Varsha is the best Varsha. Because why Bharata Varsha is the best Varsha? Because Rishabhadev is glorified in this Varsha. That means people, they glorify the activities of the Rishabhadev. That's why Bharata Varsha is superior to all other Varshas and also superior to all other Dvipas. Next, Aho nu vamshe yashas vadataha prayavrata prayavrato yatra puman puranaha krutavatara purusha saadyas chachara dharmam yada karma hetum. Who is there? Sarvamangal Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mother.
Oh, what shall I say of the dynasty of the Prevrata, which is pure and very much celebrated? In that dynasty, the Supreme Person, the original personality of Godhead, descended as an incarnation and executed religious principles that could free one from the from the results of fruitive activity.
Okay. Vamseshopi madhye priyavrata vamsho dhanya ityah aho iti. So in this text, what is said? In this text, Priyavrata's dynasty is very fortunate dynasty. So that is being said. Why? Why Priyavrata dynasty is very fortunate dynasty? Because Rishabhadev appeared. Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared. So what shall I say? The dynasty which is pure and very much celebrated. In that dynasty, the Supreme Person, the original personality of Godhead descended. Write the question. Why Bharata Varsha is superior to others, and why Priyavrata dynasty is fortunate? One question only. Why Priyavrata's dynasty is fortunate? One means two total. Only one question, two are included in that. Next, Konvasya kastam aparonu gachen manorathenapyabhavasya yogi yo yoga maya spruhayatyudasta hyasattaya yena kruta prayatna. Translation. Vipin Purandar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Dandatana. Who is that mystic yogi who can follow the examples of Lord Rishabdeva even with his mind? Lord Rishabdeva rejected all kinds of yogic perfection which other yogis hanker to attain. Who is that yogi who can compare to the Lord Rishabdeva?
Yes. Rishabhadev's greatness is what? Even all the different kinds of siddhis, they submitted themselves to accept themselves, but he didn't accept them. That is the greatness of Rishabhadev. Generally, yogis desire the yogic perfections of anima, lagima, mahima, prakamya, prapti, ishita, vashita, and kamya, vasyayita. Lord Rishabhadev, however, never aspired all these material things, such siddhis, are presented by the illusory energy of the Lord. The real purpose of yoga system is what? To achieve the favor of the shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Person. Okay, next. इतिहास्म सकल वेद लोक देव ब्राह्मण गवाम परम गुरोर भगवता ऋषभाख्यस्य विशुद्ध चरितमीरितं पुंसां समस्त दुश्चरिताभिहरणं परम महामंगलायनम् इदं अनुश्रद्धयोपचितया अनुशृणोत्याश्रावयति वावहितो भगवती तस्मिन् वासुदेव एकान्ततो भक्तिर् अनयोरपि समनुवर्तते. Translation. Chaitanya Jivan Prabhu.
Lord Rishabdeva is the master of all Vedic knowledge, human beings, demigods, cows, and brahmanas. I have already explained his pure and transcendental activities, which will vanquish the sinful activities of all living entities. This narration of Lord Rishabdeva's pastimes is the reservoir of all auspicious things. Whoever attentively hears or speaks of them, following in the footsteps of the Acharyas, will certainly attain unalloyed devotion service at the lotus feet of Lord Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
वासुदेवः एकान्ततः भक्तिः अनयोः अपि समनुवर्तते. So by the narrations of the, if you hear, and also Falasruti it is actually, if you hear the pastimes of Vasudev, Rishabhadev, and also whoever is hearing and whoever is making to hear, both will get the bhakti in the Lord. Shraddhayopachitayanushrunoti shravayati Vavahito Bhagavati Tasmin Vasudeve Ekantitaha Bhakti Anayo. Only will get the Ananya Bhakti in the Lord. So in Kali Yuga, what is the main point here? In Kali Yuga, one should hear the past tense of the Rishabhadev. But what about other yugas? In other yugas, they can follow. But in the Kali Yuga, they are not allowed to follow Rishabhadev. That's the point. You should note it. The teachings of Lord Rishabhadev are for the people of all yugas, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and especially Kali Yuga. These instructions are so powerful that even in this age of Kali, one can attain perfection simply by explaining the instructions, following in the footsteps of Acharyas, or listening to the instructions with the great attention. In one does so, one can attain the platform of pure devotional service to the Vasudeva. The past tense of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotees are recorded in Srimad Bhagavatam, so that those who recite these past tense and listen to them will become purified. Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya. So as a matter of principle, devotees should read, speak, and hear Srimad Bhagavatam persistently, 24 hours daily, if possible. So then you are Ananya Bhakta. Some people, they are thinking that 2 hours of teaching and hearing is too much, and 4 hours. Prabhupada is saying that hearing and speaking, reading, all together, if possible, 24 hours. At least the 20 hours to karo. And Chaitanya Jivan Prabhu, mind will be heated, na? No? Sri Charan Prabhuji, what Prabhupada is right? So this is Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So that is the meaning of one has to engage himself in the Krishna Katha. That is only the business. Ultimately, that is the business. We are constructing temples and we are doing everything. So what is the purpose? The purpose is to be fully become Krishna conscious, into the direct devotion. One should be fully engaged directly into the devotion. This is the goal. 24 hours. Even in the dream, try to remember the Krishna. Try to get the dreams on Krishna and devotees and the Mahaprasad. You can eat the chappan bhog in dream, and you can get lot of. Anyway, it's a dream. It is also devotion. Dream in devotion can be done in dream also. That is the recommendation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Kirtaniya Sada Harihi. One should either chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra or read Srimad Bhagavatam, and thereby try to understand the characteristics and instructions of Supreme Lord, who appeared as Lord Rishabhadeva, Lord Kapila, and Lord Krishna. This is the business. This should be the business. Only thing is, you go and preach, that means you are telling the Krishna about the people. You are telling about Krishna to the people. Otherwise, anything that means having temple means what? It is a place for preaching. And all the time you should engage yourself. At least you should increase day by day as you progress in the devotion. First, maybe 2 hours you start. Okay, no problem. So next 4 hours, next 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, 15 hours. Like that, it should be increased in hearing and chanting. Chanting should go on like that. But we should not become Pakandi. That means we are sitting for the 15-hour chanting and only just externally you are locking yourself and not going to the service. At least Prabhupada is engaging in the physical service. Physical service also important. Not otherwise, you work outside and bring the money for the Lord. That's a karmarpanam. Karmarpanam is also good. So instead of becoming the Dongi Ananya Bhakta, karmarpanam is because you don't have adhikara and sitting in the temple and just watching the YouTube videos. Then what will happen actually? Take the YouTube videos and now such a Maya is in your lap. She is sleeping in your lap with you very closely. And so that's why you should make yourself all the time so busy. If you don't make yourself as busy, then you will be finished. Because in the previous time, to watch movie, you should go to the movie theater in our student life. Now there is no need actually. So now everything is in your pocket, small pocket. At the time in my childhood, when I was 6-7 years old, I was thinking. So I was riding bicycle at that time. At the 6, 7, 8 years onward, or age onwards, I started. So I used to think. So my mother used to tell to me to go and bring the something from the shop. That means some atta, these, that. So because I used to watch the TV, and in between suddenly she asked me to do this. Then I was going on the bicycle and thinking, so why don't I have a small TV on my cycle? So that, and I should watch movie also, and I can do work. 24 hours. I want to watch serials and movies at that time. So I was thinking, and now it came, everything. You can keep on your bike also, stand, that's a mobile stand, and you keep it and you can watch also and you can write. What is there in village? Huh? Huh? Accident will not happen. Why accident? In the villages, what accidents? Village is always open. So this kind of problem. So 24 hours. We are, that means society is day by day is turning such a way, rajas and tamas are increasing, and these demons, these atheists, they are preparing such a, or they are making busy you, they are alluring you, they are engaging you 24 hours in Maya. Their agendas are working like that. They are bringing, they are using their intelligence, they are doing research on the science, and they are bringing up initially internet in 2000, in 1990s, 99 and 98. Internet for 1 hour, 25 rupees they used to take. 30, 40 rupees. Beginning, Atul Gopal bro. 40 rupees, 1 hour, 50 rupees also there. Initially, after that it became 25. Then after that 15, it became 10 rupees. So data is so valuable actually. So internet speed is only 5 M. So just MBs. So for a month we get only 1 GB, whole month 1 GB. Now today, every day 1.5 GB, 2 GB, 2.5 GB, unlimited Wi-Fi, unlimited. So much. That means these people, they are making such a facilities for you so that 24 hours you'll be in the Maya nicely and without any. So you will not realize also you are in Maya. One after another, one after another. So many channels and so many programs, and then YouTube channel came. Then everyone is a broadcaster. Everyone is having their own channel. Unlimited channels. That means unlimited contribution for nonsense. Maya. Full contribution is going on. And in spite of all this kind of difficult situation, you have to try for doing devotion 24 hours. How difficult this is. Great challenge. And when you start doing that means bhakti through the mobile, then in between ads will come. In between so many things will come. Messages, ping, WhatsApp, Telegram, I think Facebook, whatever, different messages. It's very difficult. Practically, it's very difficult, but one should try. If you don't engage yourself 24 hours in direct devotion, you are not in the Ananya Bhakti. Then Anardhinivrutti, you forget. We think that we are doing Karma Mishra Bhakti or Jnana Mishra Bhakti. We don't have any full, that means faith on the Lord, and do not engage 24 hours. Then our Bhakti is covered by the Karma and the Jnana and other things. Then Anardhinivrutti what? Bhajana Kriya itself is not started. Your mixed karma we are doing. Mixed bhakti we are doing. So Prabhupada, that's why he is asking us to go to a peaceful place where there is no rajas and tamas. It said in the, what is that chapter? 32nd sloka. In which chapter? 23 or 24? Vedic principles, no, what is it? Maybe in that. So Prabhupada is saying one should be, that means leave the place where rajas and tamas is so much. The influence of rajas and tamas is so much. So if you see now in the present day, cities and these places, at least we have less facilities. But if you go to some big metropolitan cities, you'll be having so many facilities and so much allurement, and it is fully filled with so much rajas and tamas. And in that place, so it's very difficult to do devotion. But one can say devotion is free from the modes. Then what is Prabhu? Why we need to consider the rajas and tamas? This is true or not? Devotion is completely free from modes. Then why we need to consider this? But this is true for whom? This is according to adhikara, you should apply the principle. So if you are in the Ananya Bhakti, yes, you are not influenced by the rajas and tamas. According to your adhikara, you should apply this. Apply this means what? Applying the principles. What is that? You are not in Ananya Bhakta and you are in the Karma Mishra Bhakti, Sangha Siddha Bhakti. Then in that case, you have to see the guna dosha of your surroundings. You should always engage, you should situate yourself in the guna. That means the place which is more influenced by the sattva guna. Because you didn't have the 100% Shraddha. Once if you have 100% Shraddha and full surrenderance to the Lord, then you don't need to consider the guna dosha. So, but you are not having this kind of Shraddha and you cannot apply this category of the principle to you. So someone is not a Brahmana and he is a Shudra, but he cannot apply the privileges of Brahmana. So we are here. So then you have to engage, you have to see yourself the gunadosha of your surroundings. Gunadosha means based upon the sattva, rajas, and tamas. So that's why fanatically you should not say that. जब जरूरत पड़ते तो इधर का यूज करूंगा, जब जरूरत इधर का यूज करूंगा. भोगने की समय ये और कुछ करने की समय ये. जब कुछ करने के लिए बोलेंगे तो अनन्य भक्त हूं मैं, 24 hours chanting, I cannot do any service. And खाने के लिए इसमें कारण, so कर्मनिष्ठ भक्त हम तो कौन सा भक्त है, अभी तो हम सब खाएंगे बस. ये सब चलते. मुर्गी का आधा काटो, जहां जो जरूरी है वो यूज करो, बस आगे का चाहिए तो आगे, पीछे का ऐसे चलता है. Uddhav Gita, if you read nicely, then you'll understand all these points clearly. Uddhav Gita, it is explained. Chapter number from 19 onwards, 20th chapter you take. 20 is beginning. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. हाँ, उस कौन सा chapter है वो? Gunadosha. This main is Gunadosha. This is the main topic actually. Uddhav Gita is very important. In the Bhakti Shastra, Uddhav Gita also we should keep. Bhakti Shastra with Uddhav Gita, Bhakti Shastra with Bhagavad Gita. बहुत जरूरी है actually. Whatever that means, one should situate yourself in the 25 actually. 25, 30. Swesya Adhikara is a 21, na? Swesya Adhikara is a 21 actually. Gunadosha is that I understood, that's 25. In the 21 chapter, Swesya Adhikara Yanishta Saguna Parikirtha Viparyastu Dosha Syad Ubayoresha Nischaya. That means if you are, like you see, we have total, this is one path, Gnana Marga. So now if you see this full picture, you all know all this. This is okay, wait, I will tell everything. So this is the Gnana. How many paths are there in the whole universe? Mainly 3. Gnanam, what is that? Sorry, Ananya Bhakti and Karma. This is Karma, and in this actually this is only Karmis, and this is Karma Mishra Bhakti, and this is the Karma Arpanam. So which is the beginning to enter into the Gnana Marga. So like this you can say this is absolute truth. You have total Gnana Marga, Bhakti Marga and Karma Marga. So when you offer the karma, so that is also becoming the devotion to the Lord. So if you are here, that means you have 100% Shraddha, then you should apply the, so says Adhikari, you are Adhikari for this, then you have to act according to the this process. And you are Adhikari, already you got eligibility for the Gnana, that means full detachment is needed. Then you have to act so as prescribed by the Gnana Marga. So you should follow the Gnana Marga. If you have the full of attachment, then you should follow the Karma Marga. You have full attachment for the material desires and you don't have 100% Shraddha, but if you say just by knowing some principles of Ananya Bhakti, you are keeping yourself as Ananya Bhakta and trying to follow as Ananya Bhakta, then it is dosha. Ananya Bhakta is followed by whom? Who has 100% Shraddha, Purna Shraddha. But you have fully attachment for the material things and don't have the 100% Shraddha, then you are Adhikari for the karma. Swesve Adhikari Ya Nishta Sa Gunaha. And that's why if for him there is whoever is situated in this, that means already surrendered. That means Tyaktva Swadharmam Charanam Bhujam Harer, or otherwise Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Raja. That is the beginning of the Ananya Bhakti. So when he surrendered like that, then he is Ananya Bhakta. For him, There is no need to follow any. So social, that means varnashrama dharma, based upon the varnashrama dharma, he should not act. He should not act based upon varnashrama dharma. But who is not having the 100% Shraddha, he should follow the gunas properly. And this 25th chapter is saying that 25th chapter. So sloka number is, yeah, 1 minute, bro. Sat, what is it? Nissango mam bhajet vidvan apramatto jitendriya rajas tamas chabi jayet sattva samsevaya munihi sattvam chabi jayet yuktah nairapekshena shantadihi sampadhyate gunaih mukta jivo jivam vihaya mam. So what is said? So person whoever is not qualified to do Ananya Bhakti, that means he didn't get that qualification, then he has to situate himself in the Sattva Guna. Then he should leave the place which is influenced by Rajas and Tamas and be situated in the Sattva Guna, and one should do the Bhakti. So along with the karma also, he will be doing the karma arpanam also, because he didn't get that kind of Shraddha. So now that's why, how to check one is qualified to Ananya Bhakti or not? So he should apply the principles of surrenderance. That's six limbs of the surrenderance. You should check with that. So otherwise, then you should see the nature, the climate. Rajas and Tamas are so much prevailing. Then you should leave that, and you should not say that, oh, I am Ananya Bhakti. You don't need to see any gunas and doshas. Then you are applying this, but you are not qualified. Then this is dosha, is cheating. This is cheating. Anyway, next, yasyameva kavaya atmanam aviratam vividha vrujina samskara paritapopa tapyamanam anusavanam snapayantas tadaiva paraya nirvrutya hyapavargama atyantikam parama purusharthamapi swayam asaditam no eva adriyante bhagavadiyatvenaiva pari samapta sarvarthaha. Sorry. Translation. Who is that? Radharoni Mataji. Guest student.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Translation. Devotees always bathe themselves in devotional service in order to be relieved from the various tribulations of material existence. By doing this, the devotees enjoy supreme bliss and liberation personified comes to serve them. Nonetheless, they do not accept that service, even if it is offered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. For the devotees' liberation, mukti is very unimportant because having attained the Lord's transcendental loving service, they have attained everything desirable and have transcended all material desires.
Yeah. Bhaktehe Purushartha Siromani. In this sloka, what is said? Bhakti is the crest jewel of all Purusharthas. How many Purusharthas are there? Total 5 Purusharthas. So Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, Bhakti. So among this, who is the supermost, topmost one? That is Bhakti. Yasyam Bhakto eva Sudha Sariti Atmanam Snapayantaha. So Swayam Asaditam Aprarditam Api Bhagavata. So that means Muktim Parama Purusharthamapi Swayam Asaditam Eva no Eva Adriyante Bhavadiyatveneva Pari Samapta Savartha. What he is saying here, Sukadeva Goswami, they don't desire anything actually. For the devotees, liberation is very unimportant, because having attained the Lord's transcendental loving service. You should understand. So how the whole discussion went. If you see, Sukadeva Goswami brought up the discussion of Rishabhadev. Finally, what he is establishing. So he explained to us the teachings of Rishabhadev, and also how the different, that means margas explained with Rishabhadev is also a bit explained. Then finally, what he is saying? Finally, he is saying that hearing the Rishabhadev's pastimes is a solution to come out from in this Kali Yuga. So come out from the bondage with this karma. And finally, he is saying that devotion is a topmost purushartha. क्वेश्चन बनाने के लिए सोच रहा हूँ, लेकिन I thought, but you may not able to do that. I want such a answer. One should analyze. That means we have seen already Privrata's devotion, Agnidra's devotion, and Nabhi's devotion. So now I want Rishabhadev's devotion we should not speak, because it is a supreme personality of Godhead. But from the teachings of that means when Sukadeva Goswami narrated this story, that means narrated the fastings of Rishabhadev. So you should understand the mood actually. So you should establish how. So Sukadeva Goswami finally established bhakti as the topmost. What are the crucial points he struck actually time to time? So where in which places? So he made the contrast, and that means he glorified bhakti than the others. That means the way that means from the here also, and also when Sukadeva Goswami narrated about the Rishabhadev's teachings, in the teachings also what happened there, Gnana and Vairagya, Bhakti, these three are discussed in between also in a mixed way. But finally, what is the conclusion? Sukadeva Goswami, what he was saying, Rishabhadev's conclusion is bhakti only. That point you should mention. And like that here also, if you see, so he is after the narrations of the Pura, that means narration, after narrating the story about the Rishabhadev, so he is clearly in his all these purports, if you see all this translated in the statements of Sukadeva Goswami, if you see how he is bringing out the point that bhakti is the conclusion, is the wanted thing. So that you have to explain. So okay, question you should make like this. It's not an easy question, but it's a दिमाग का है actually, दिमाग का खेल. So मैंने थोड़ा सा focus करना पड़ेगा. You should focus on 5th and 6th chapters both. So what is that question? So how Sukadeva Goswami established bhakti by narrating the pastime of Rishabhadev through the narration of pastimes of Rishabhadev. How Sukadeva Goswami established bhakti. 10 marks. Write the crucial points. Then you have to meditate. It is not a direct answer. Do researches. Commentary and this, that. And you have to strike the points, main points. In class also we strike. So you should strike. Then that is the research way of studying. It's what it is. In purport, 3 lines are there. And these 3 lines, we made a question on the 3 lines and you are writing those 3 lines. That's not. So last 4 exams only are remaining. 2 exams in 5th canto, 2 exams in 6th canto. Only 4. 4. Acha, 5 exams. Okay, next. Rajan patir gururalam bhavatam yadunam daivam priya kulapati kocha kinkarovaha astveva manga bhagavan bhajatam mukundo muktim dadati karhi chitsma na bhakti yogam. I'm really interested in seeing the answers of the comparison of the Priyavrat, Agnidra and Nabhi's devotion and this question. Important questions also. And also I want to check the answers. If you send, so I will give feedback also. Additions and subtractions. I also like this kind of questions and answers. How you are doing research and analyzing and establishing. If you make and ready that material, then it will be very useful in future also. Yes or no? If you don't put a lot of exercise, if you don't exercise on the content of these chapters, what will happen? Then you'll forget very quickly. Very light impressions will be formed in your heart about these chapters. This निकल लिया और उल्टी कर दिया. 2 दिन याद की हो गए बस. Okay, I will read the translation. Sukadeva Goswami continued, my dear king, the supreme person Mukunda is actually the reminder, is the maintainer of all the members of Pandava and Yadu dynasties. He is your spiritual master, worshipful deity, friend, and the director of your activities. To say nothing of this, he sometimes serves your family as a messenger or servant. This means he worked just as ordinary servants do. Those engaged in getting the Lord's favor attain liberation from the Lord very easily, but he doesn't very easily give the opportunity to render the direct service unto him. So see what he wants to say. If you see in the previous slokas, he was telling that Priyavrata's dynasty is best dynasty. Then Parikshit is feeling that, oh, acha, my dynasty is not good. Acha, my dynasty is not good. My dynasty is not good because in the Puru's dynasty, Lord didn't appear. Even Uttanapada's dynasty is also good because Prutu Maharaj appeared. Even Devahuti Maya. So in her dynasty also. So Karatam Munis, Kapil Bhagavan. Even in the Prasuti. Prasuti, na? First one is Akuti. Sorry, Akuti. Akuti, Prasuti. Akuti. So Yagna appearing in whose? To whom? Ruchi and Akuti. Akuti. Yagna also appeared in that. That is Swayambhu Manu, you have 5 children. In the 5 children, so you see, so 3 girls and 2 boys, 2 sons and 3 daughters. So in the Akuti, Prasuti, Devahuti. So Akuti in her life, in her lineage also, Lord appeared as a Yagna. Devahuti also as a couple. And Uttanapada, Prithu Maharaj. Priyavrata also Rishabhadev. And Prasuti, I don't know actually. Prasuti Daksha, who marries Prasuti? Sorry. Huh? Dakshana? Huh? Yeah. They have many actually. So okay. So here ultimately our Parishit Maharaj is so unhappy after hearing my dynasty is not in my dynasty, Lord didn't appear. Then understanding, maybe Parishit is thinking like this. So he may be getting disappointment. Now he's saying that, Arey, what is the meaning of appearing the Lord in your dynasty? Lord became servant for your dynasty. He became a chariot driver for your dynasty members, for Pandava, for Arjuna. That means, liberation is so easily given by him. But becoming servant, being controlled by the devotees is the highest thing. Giving love for him is not an easy thing. He gave full control to your dynasty members, devotees. Of course, he is very much favorable to the Yadus and Pandavas. But even if you see in that case also, even in the case of Pandavas, he became servant. He became messenger, chariot driver. And in the Rajashri Yaga, he was washing the feet of all the guests. So such an extent, Lord gave himself to you all. And you people are not as ordinary people. You are exalted devotees. And the way how you see, you should understand the way Sukadeva Goswami is establishing the bhakti, Ananya Bhakti. This, you have to analyze the key points in this chapter, whatever happened in the 5th and 6th chapters. Take these key points and so establish the way, the style of the speaking, or the way the Sukadeva Goswami, how he is speaking. Based upon that, you should write that question. थोड़ा दिमाग लगाओ, अभी तो 4 दिन गया तो पूरा भूल जाएंगे, कुछ भी नहीं आएगा. If you don't work it out immediately, then you will forget everything. It will become more difficult also. Then in exam, I will give that only. Muktim dadati karhichit sma na bhaktim. Yoga means, that means he never gives bhakti. No. कभी देंगे ना, ऐसा लेना है क्या? करहिचित स्मा means, what is the meaning of karhichit sma? Karhichit api. If api word is there, कभी नहीं देते हैं, ऐसा मीनिंग आ जाएगा. That means Lord gives mukti, muktim dadati, karhichit na bhaktim. Karhichit means, so karhichit api is there, then he never gives. He never gives bhakti yoga. But he didn't say karhichit api. He said only karhichit. That means, so not easily, but he gives. Most of the times he doesn't give, but very few times he gives. But karhichit api na dadati means he never give. He never give. Right. So that's why here karhichit api iti anuktehe muktim anichadbhyah suddha bhaktebhyastu bhaktimeva dadati. Srila Jiva Goswami saying, Tat srutva tasyaihi sprahantam rajanam bhavatam tu sa parama slaghya ityaha rajan iti bhakti yogam premanam karhichid iti tadetad falechutva bhave vasanantara bhave cha sati itya. So same thing, whatever we do. Muktim dadati karhichit smana. Next, Nityanubhuta nijalabha nivrutta trishna shreyasya tadrachanaya chirasupta buddhe lokasya yah karunaya bhayamatma lokam akyan namo bhagavate rishabhaya tasmai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Rishabhadeva, was fully aware of his true identity. Therefore, he was self-sufficient and he didn't desire external desire external gratification. There was no need for him to aspire for success since he was complete in himself. Those who unnecessarily engage in bodily consumption and create an atmosphere of materialism are always ignorant of their real self-interest. Out of his causeless mercy, Lord Rishabhadeva taught the self's real identity and goal of life. We therefore offer our respectful obeisances unto the Lord who appeared as Lord Rishabhadev. Nitya Anubhuta Nijalabha Nivrutta Trishnaha Shreyas Tadrachanaya. Bhagavantam Rishabham Pranamati. So finally he pay obeisances to the Rishabhadev and he goes to the next to Bharatamara's story. So that's why. So he is paying obeisances. Tad rachanaya atma bhuta dehadyardaka vyaparena shreyasi kalyano bhagavadarādane chiram supta buddhiryasya tasya lokasya janasya atmanah. Just he is saying the obeisances in this. Rishabhaya tasmai bhagavate namaha. So chira supta buddhehe lokasya. That means people are not aware of the self-interest. That means self-realization. This is the main thing actually we are seeing. In the Rishabhadev's teachings, Gnana is more emphasized actually. But conclusion is Bhakti only. So this is the summary of this chapter in which the activities of Rishabhadev are described. Being Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, Lord Rishabhadev is complete in himself. We living entities as part and parcel of the Supreme Lord should follow the instructions of Lord Rishabhadev and become self-sufficient. We should not create unnecessary demands due to the bodily consumption. When one is self-realized, he is sufficiently satisfied due to being situated in his original spiritual position. As confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatmana Sochitana Kankshasi. This is the goal of all living entities. Even though one may be situated within this material world, he can become fully satisfied and devoid of hankering and lamentation simply by following the instructions of the Lord and set forth in the Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavad. So especially what here, Ananya Bhakti is the goal, but here what is said? So Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma means what? It is a self-realization actually. Self-realization. Because if you see the teachings of Rishabhadeva, the major content is towards the self-realization only. So that's why Prabhupada is also writing in that lines. So satisfaction through self-realization is called the Swarupa Ananda. The conditioned soul eternally sleeping in darkness doesn't understand his self-interest. He simply tries to become happy by making material adjustment, but this is impossible. It is therefore said in Srimad Bhagavatam, Nate viduhu swarthagatim hi Vishnum. Due to gross ignorance, the conditioned soul doesn't know the real self-interest is to take the shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. To try to become happy and by adjusting the material atmosphere is a useless endeavor. Indeed, that's a finally materialism. Prabhupada always strikes materialism. That means adjusting this atmosphere is not a real success. It's not a self-interest. Real self-interest means becoming self-realized. Indeed, it is impossible. By his personal behavior and instructions, Lord Rishabhadev enlightened the conditioned soul and showed him how to become self-sufficient in his spiritual identity. Lord Rishabhadev enlightened the conditioned soul and showed how to become self-sufficient. This is the self-realization. Is the main teachings, are the main teachings of, is the main teaching of Rishabhadev. But we should establish in that question. So Bhakti. Of course, he is teaching mainly Gnana, Rishabhadev, but conclusions of Rishabhadev also, if you see, that is Bhakti only. So that's why you should touch those points. And also, that means the way the Sukadeva Goswami is narrating the story of the Rishabhadev, based upon that you should. Even you can take in that teachings of Rishabhadev also, because that is also narrated by the ultimately whom? By the Sukadeva Goswami only, na? So that's why. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purports of the 5th canto, 6th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavata entitled The Activities of Lord Rishabhadev. Thank you very much. So we'll start this chapter tomorrow only. Very important. Tomorrow we are going to discuss very important sloka. So that is going to discuss about the Ananya Bhakti. Ananya Bhakti, sometimes Ananya Bhakta is doing the karma. Then how to understand this? Many subtle points are there. Third, you can read the Vishwanath Thakur commentary also in English. You try. So because if you read the commentary and come, then it will become easy for me. That means 5th canto, 7th chapter, 6th sloka commentary. It's a big commentary. So please read it and come. And anyway, I will make question on this. 15 marks question. Okay. And if you want to know the Jiva Goswami, how he explained this video link is there. Sri Charan Prabhu. That video link, that Apurvam I was discussing, that Bhakti Sandarbha class, that link we want. Huh? Okay. 2 days back हुआ लग रहे हैं तो. It's not in Zoom. It is in the Bhakti Sandarbha class. You should take from that Prabhuji. From the, what is that? Dharma. Date, maybe 2 days back you can check. That board I was writing. You are not there? Discussing about the Apurva. That was in Friday. You were not there. I know that. Only which day you absent? Friday, na? Thursday, I think. Thursday you were absent. Thursday class. Yeah. Thursday class, I think. Last Thursday class. You can check Thursday or Friday. So if they can see the contrast, then difference how the two acharyas explain. Vishwanath Thakur is bringing very new points. Very much. Very special points. Okay, thank you very much for all of you for patient and kind hearing. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.